Hey YouTube, hope you're all keeping well out there in this crazy world. Back with another pickups video. This is my 5th one, I believe. And I've got quite a few, ranging from the Spectrum all the way through to the PS4. And as usual, I'll start from the first system, which is the Spectrum. And a game that I thought looked really interesting, and again I researched some of the Spectrum games because I didn't have a ton back in the day, but this one caught my eye, but sadly it doesn't blooming work. It's booty, which doesn't boot up, so there's that one. So I'm gonna have to buy it again. Got my money back from the seller, but I tried another couple of times before I made this video, and yeah, definitely doesn't boot up. The next one is Rockstar Ate My Hamster. Now, I remember hearing and seeing this, never played it, never owned it, and just thought it sounded really, really bizarre. And I think it is quite bizarre. I think you're like a Rockstar manager or something like that. So I guess it's some sort of simulation game. But yeah, keen to give this one a go, see what that one's like. Sounds quite strange. Just leave it like that. The next one come as a double pack, and this is for the Spectrum as well. I was after one of these games, and that was Iridium, and it comes with Firelord. Now, Iridium, I went on to YouTube and looked at kind of top or best 50 Spectrum games, something like that. And this one always comes up, and I know a few people that I've watched on YouTube have mentioned this one. So yeah, keen to give it a go. Looks like a real nice little space shooter. And Firelord, apparently, with some of the comments that I've seen on YouTube, is very abstract, as in it doesn't really explain what you need to do or where you need to go. But it's got lovely lush graphics, very similar to Saberwolf. That sort of really colourful look to it, that sort of art style. But yeah, look at that artwork. I mean, looks fantastic. Obviously the game doesn't look anything like that, but hey ho, that's the Spectrum. Now for the PlayStation 1, I remember going around a friend's house in about 94, 95, into his smoke-filled bedroom, and a few of the boys were there having a few beers playing this game. And Alabash, I quite enjoyed it. It's Alien Trilogy. Now I'm a huge fan of the Alien movies, and yeah, even the third one I don't think is too bad. You know, it's not the best, but it's not a bad flick. But played that one, and yeah, I quite enjoyed it, so I'm keen to give that one another bash, and it gets really good reviews, so let's see how that one goes. Next is a From Software game for the Dreamcast. It's a Japanese game, thus the dual case, and that's Frame Grid, and it's basically a mech fighting game. Haven't booted this up yet. Got this from Japan a couple of months ago. And it even comes with the, I don't think it did, the spine card there, which is a nice little bonus. But yeah, it's supposed to be very good. And you don't need to know Japanese in order to play it, which is always a bonus. Next, for the PlayStation 2, I've got 3 games. And I've got it playing in the background there. It's Shinobi. Didn't know this one came out for the PlayStation 2 until I became a collector and started looking around and doing a bit of research, and apparently this is very good. Looks very sort of Ninja, or the new Xbox onward Ninja Gaiden-esque sort of games where you run along walls and jump, and 3D sort of hack and slash. So looks quite cool. Love the way the scarf there, the red scarf, flutters in the wind. And yeah, fan of Shinobi and my Ninja games, so keen to give that one a bash. Next we've got a compilation, a Capcom Classics compilation. There's a fair few games on here, and the main reason I got this was for the 1942 games. In 1943, Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Goats, the Street Fighters I've got on the PlayStation 4 in a collection, and that's probably the pinnacle of the Street Fighter collection on any one sort of disc, I would say. Final Fight, yet again, I've got that on a Capcom compilation for the PlayStation 4. Forgotten Worlds, don't remember too much of that, but I did play it on my friend's Mega Drive back in the day. Yeah, and a few other little titles there, so nice little compilation, quite cheap as well on eBay, so pleased with that one. Next is an RPG for the PlayStation 2, and that's Wild Arms 3, which has a more of a western, as in a cowboy western sort of feel to it. And this one and 4 is apparently very good for the PlayStation 2. Keeping an eye out for 4. It's a little bit more pricey, but just waiting for the ideal time to pounce on a relatively good deal for that one. But yeah, I've always been interested in the Wild Arms series. I think I've got one on the PlayStation 1, and again, I never owned a PlayStation 1 back in the day, so keen to maybe start with the first one and work my way through. Oh, lovely. Now, a couple of months ago, I went through my mum's loft to try and clear out some of my stuff and bring it around to my house. And I had a box up there with numerous bits and bobs in. And what I used to do as a graphic designer is collect examples of interesting packaging and interesting design and things like that. Anyway, I was going through all this and I found this, and I'm so glad I've got this. It's the promotional disc for the GameCube. Now, it's still sealed, so I'm going to leave it that way, but it comes with, I think it's this GameCube sized CD disc, and it just gives a little preview of the system, and I think there's a few trailers on there for a few of the GameCube launch games, and yeah, I just was really pleased to find that. So it's not really a pickup, but more of a rediscovery from my mum's loft. Next is for the Wee Willie Winky. And again, I got this in a charity shop. It was only £1, so, and apparently it's a very good Need for Speed game. It's Need for Speed Nitro, and I believe this has got more of a kind of Ridge Racer feel to it, so quite drifty and quite arcadey. So yeah, that suits me. Haven't booted it up yet, but will. There's that one. Next, we've got the PlayStation 3 games. Now, the first PlayStation 3 game I got is 007 Bloodstone, or Bloodstone 007. Pete Snestastic always goes on about this one, and I know he's a huge fan of his Bond games, so looking forward to giving this a bash. Some cover-based shooting elements in this level, some driving levels, so yeah, looks good. I'll let you know what it's like, Pete. Next is a game mentioned by Eddie Rollercore in one of his pickups videos quite a while ago, or was it in his collection video? I can't remember. But that's Pain. It looks a little, I mean, I haven't done too much research into this, but it looks a little bit like a goat simulator, where you're just chucking this guy around and like maybe you get points for the amount of damage you cause him in the environment. I'm not sure, but it looks like really good fun. So yeah, never heard of this one until Eddie mentioned it, so nice one for that, Eddie. There's that one. And another one, Mr. Rollercore, Eddie Rollercore, mentioned was Body Count, and apparently it's a spiritual successor to Black, which I've played and completed on the PlayStation 2 not that long ago. Apparently not amazing, but yeah, keen to give it a go. It's not by Criterion, so I doubt it has that polish. Codemasters though, so pretty good developer. Yeah, give that one a bash. And another, I believe it looks like a first-person shooter adventure game, if you will, is Time Shift. I've seen this about, but didn't know too much about it really. Apparently it's okay, so give that one a go. We've got some 3DS next. I've been buying some of these back up, collecting for the handheld. I owned and played this one and completed this one when it first came out for the 3DS, and it's a beautiful, not reimagining as such, but a remaster for the 3DS. Gorgeous textures. They've tweaked some of the controls, and I think they even, although I didn't have too much trouble with the water tempo, I believe they made that easier. But again, everyone sort of bangs on about that particular dungeon, but I don't recall having too much issues with it. This is the limited edition version with the gold inlay, so got that for a really good price. Yeah, put an offering on the chap who was selling it on eBay, and he accepted it, so I was pleased with that one. Next I've got Mario Golf World Tour. Got decent reviews on the system. Downloaded the demo from the Nintendo 3DS shop and played a few holes and really enjoyed it. I've got this on the GameCube as well and really enjoyed that. Like my golf games, especially the arcadey ones, and this is no exception. Really good. Next is Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, which is a conversion of the Wii game. Haven't played the Wii game and I haven't even booted this one up yet. But I did play Tropical Freeze on the Wii U and completed it. Quite hard in places, but definitely doable, and a gorgeous, beautiful game for the system. And the soundtrack is absolutely stellar, fantastic. So yeah, really looking forward to booting this one up. And lastly is an RPG which I've been interested in. This particular IP and series, it's Bravely Second, which is part of the Bravely Default series, and yeah, highly regarded on the system, and looking forward to giving it a bash. So there's that one. Right, last up is the PS4 games, and I've got 4 here. First up is a fighter, quite a crazy fighter, and that's Dragon Ball Fighters Z. Just crazy animations and graphics and explosions, and brilliant. Love it. I love the Naruto fighter games as well, and this is apparently quite a deep fighter to get into. Played it a few times with my friend a little while ago, quite drunk, so can't remember too much of that, but I remember us just thinking this is just insane. You know, some of the moves you can do, and the colour, and the explosions, and the damage that you can do is just out of this world. But looking forward to sinking some more time into this, and the wife said she'll have a little bash with that with me, so yeah, look forward to beating her up. Next up is a walk, ride and fight game, the Ninja Saviors, based off the arcade game The Ninja Warriors, and it came out for the Super Nintendo or Super Famicom. I think this is a spiritual successor or a remake. I'm gonna have to do a bit more research into that one. Bloody difficult though. I booted it up once and I got to the end of level boss on level 1, so clearly I need to hone my skills and get a bit of practice in and give this a good bash. So there's that one. This is a game I never heard of and didn't even know existed until Eddie Rollercore mentioned this, and I believe it had like a limited release and then it was re-released, and that's on Inaki, still sealed, so I haven't got around to playing this one yet. Square Enix RPG. Don't know anything about it, Eddie, so hopefully it's good. I did a little bit of research and it sort of gets you sort of 7 to 7.5s out of 10, so see what that one's like. The last game is Control. Played and completed this probably about 2 weeks ago, but was really good. Different sort of story, kind of weird story. Sci-fi, over-the-shoulder third-person action game. You get sort of telekinesis powers and unlock different abilities. Very Inception-like. Have you seen the movie Inception? It's got this sort of dreamlike quality where you can manipulate the environment, or the environment's manipulating because it's in like a parallel paranormal universe. It's kind of hard to explain, but go and check some gameplay out for it, and the powers you get in this are really interesting, like picking up blocks and parts of the environment and hurling those at your enemies, picking up your enemies and hurling those at your enemies, levitation, and yeah, just a very crazy, unique game, and thoroughly recommended. Control. Brilliant game. Check it out. And that's it, guys. Hope everyone's staying safe out there and enjoying their gaming, retro, modern, and everything in between. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you again.